You are listening to Money Matters Podcast. Step into a world full of worth and financial intelligence. Dedicated to bringing awareness, empowering the world to financial freedom and personal development.
Once again, welcome to the Money Matters Podcast. I go by the name Clever Pinero, and I'm in the studio with the professional investor, Alex. And today we're going to be talking about 10 secrets that rich don't want you to know. All these rich people have secrets, stuff that they do that the poor don't know. They keep it to themselves and they share it among their fellow, their rich friends. These are the secrets that the rich do to maintain focus and be super productive over the average person or the poor person. We did our research and we came up with all these secrets that the rich are keeping to themselves, and we want to expose it and let you guys know so we could all learn from it and use it to better ourselves. So, any comments, Alex?
Wow. So they have secrets that they keep to themselves and use it to their benefit every day?
Yes, the rich got secrets. They got secrets, tricks, stuff that they know. Because they have to have secrets because, there's a reason why they're rich and others are not.
Wow.
There have to be some secret that they keep into themselves or something that they're doing right that other people are doing wrong.
I wonder how much effect this has on their finances and their overall life.
I mean, I'm sure they keep doing it. So if they keep doing it and they're still maintaining their riches and still building up on it, then the secret is working. Whatever they have is working.
It has to be, because if it's not just one person or one rich person doing it, and all the rich folks that we can probably mention their names are doing it, then it must be some truth to it and some effectiveness in building worth or making money. So without wasting much time, let's get to it.
All right, we're going to get to it. And, these secrets that the rich have, all the rich people have their own secrets. They all share the same secrets, It's a lot of similarities. They may not have all 10. One may not have all 10, but the rich people that we actually studied, they all have some of these lists, and if not all, they have majority of it. So everybody has something on this list. So like you said, without wasting too much time, we're gonna go over the list real quick. The first on the list is the rich. They get up early. Everybody got 24 hours in a day. So depending on how you use your 24 hours, that's what's going to determine how productive you are going to be during the day. So if you choose to sleep for the majority of the day, if you wake up around 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, the majority of the day is gone. You slept for the most part. I mean, I wonder how productive you're going to be,
Yeah, I'm tempted to say that they are cheating because we all have 24 hours and 12 hours in a day. So if they're probably waking up like 2-3 hours before everybody else, then it means they have 2-3 extra hours that they can use to read, exercise, or whatever that's getting ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, you got to always find a way to figure the system out. You can't just follow what everybody's doing, You got to experiment the time you sleep, the time you get up, and find out which time is going to be more productive for you. So I'm sure they figured out that when you when you wake up early, you're going to have the majority of the day to your advantage to be more productive. So that's the approach that I believe they're taking.
That's true. And I've read that from a couple of, rich folks talking about how to wake up before their whole family gets up, and that gives them time to go over the things that they personally do before interacting with the family. So I believe that, and I truly believe that, yes, waking up, giving yourself more time in that 12-hour period definitely helps out and makes you more productive.
Yeah, and based on our research, the rich sleep less than 7 hours a day. They don't sleep more than 7 hours. Some sleep 5 hours, depending on what they have to do, and the kind of things, how productive they're trying to be during the day, but they don't sleep past 7 hours. So Yeah, you know, it's not like they deprive themselves of sleep, but they make sure that they get enough sleep. But they wake up early. Some wake up consistently the same time every day to be more productive, and that's how they're able to get more time to get a lot of stuff done. So if you're the average person and you sleeping for the most of the day, you're not going to be productive. So if you want to accomplish a lot during the day, you wake up early in the morning, you start your day early, and you realize that you're going to accomplish a lot. Your day will feel more productive, and you probably get a chance to even go to sleep early and start the same routine over and over.
Yeah, and I think the most interesting part of it is that it's not like they're depriving themselves of this. Some of them are probably used to this and cannot even sleep past 6-7 hours. After 6-7 hours, they just wake up because this is what they've been doing for years and have become used to it. And so it just gives them so much time ahead of everybody else, and more time. Like we say, time is money. So if you have more time, then it means what? More money.
More money for you.
So I can understand and see how giving yourself extra time in that 12-hour period in a day will translate into you making more money.
Yeah, you know, and they don't just wake up early with nothing to do. You know, some of our listeners could be listening to us and they'll be like, you know what, I'm going to start waking up early every day now. Don't just wake up early to just be there. You know, you got to have something that you working on, a project or something, work that is actually generating money for you. That is going to keep you ahead of, accomplishing your goal.
Yeah.
So you don't just want to just wake up for waking up sake.
That's so true, because most of them do have like routines of like probably that they keep religiously. Some of them do wake up before their like children and wife wake up, before these close family relatives wake up. They do their workouts, they get their readings, studying. I mean, acquiring out. There's so much that these guys do, and they have a plan, a program that they follow every day. It's definitely not just waking up to sit around doing nothing, because it will make no sense just to wake up and sit around to say that I gave myself 2 extra hours. But then that 2 extra hours, what came out of it? What productively came out of it? So if you don't have any plan or any activity to engage yourself in that 2-3 hours before your relatives or everybody else wake up, then it makes no sense waking up to just come sit around and say that, yes, I woke up before everybody else.
I mean, you got to have something to show for it to you know, so you know that your day was productive. Like, and the more you keep doing it, you develop the pattern. And it becomes normal. Like you might not even need to set up any alarm clock or anything anymore. Your body will just wake up at the same time that you get up every day. So this is the habit that the rich people have, that they follow all the time, and it works for them. You know, like you said, they cheat the system and make sure they get more productive hours. They don't just sleep it off. You know, there is a saying that sleep is for the dead. You know. When you die, you get to sleep, do all the sleeping you want. But as you're alive right now, you want to make sure that you squeeze the most time to be up and be more productive so you can achieve your goals.
I don't know about that saying, but that sleeping is being for the dead. I don't know about that, because after 12, 14 hours, I gotta go. I need that sleep. But then again, how long are you gonna be sleeping for? How many hours do you get to get rejuvenated to come back to work? Because you can't say I stayed up for 12 hours, 10 hours, so I'm going to go sleep for the next 12, 10 hours. Neither. No. You have to make sure you get enough rest, because it's also healthy to get the required amount of sleep. If you don't, you are also working against your own health. So you have to put all this into perspective and make sure that you're not putting yourself, jeopardizing your health, but on the same token, you're being super productive and giving yourself enough time to cover the things that you need to do within that 12-hour period in a day. That's why I think the impeachment inquiry going on right now, I think the ranking member for the Judiciary Committee on the Republican side said to one of those law professors that they were questioning that, I cannot possibly believe that you read every transcript of those witnesses that came out, because he couldn't see how that was possible. how much time are you gonna have within that 12-hour period? And even the chairman Shift, he released his findings a night before these ladies, professors and these lawyers came out to come testify in the Judiciary Committee. So the ranking member from the Republican side couldn't see how a 53 or 100-page findings coming out a night before and you being able to go through the whole thing, because obviously he couldn't do it.
He couldn't do it. So he assumed that you can't do it.
Exactly. It was a projection from himself to the professors, because I just got it last night and obviously I couldn't go through all of them. So how were you able to do it? It's impossible.
Right.
We all have 12 hours. And if within that 12 hours I cannot do it, then it means you couldn't do it.
Yeah, the fact that you can't do it doesn't mean the next person can't do it.
So the professor took offense to that. She said, I feel insulted for you telling me this because you don't know how I use my time. And I'm not going to sit here and come testify about stuff that I have not gone through, that I've not read through them. So for your information,
that is a big blow, right?
Exactly.
There.
For your information,
sitting over there not reading the information, but you're there to talk about it
and testify. And I just talk about it, testify. All right. So she said to him, for your information, I have read through every single transcript that had been put out. Exactly. So this is all time management.
It's all about time management.
Who knows how long this law professor from I think Stanford has been sleeping within a 24-hour period. Because she's reading so much that ranking member couldn't think of how that was possible. Couldn't fathom. So what would you say? What would you do?
It's the same way. Like, I'm going to give you an example. Like, some of these musicians out there, like, let me try to find a famous one. Somebody like maybe a Jay-Z. You know, he might wake up early in the morning and maybe have his day planned where he will go to a fundraiser or go to see the doctor, still find time to go to the studio to record, go see his management, and do so many things during the day. And, you know, so the average person will wake up and maybe go shopping or go to a doctor's appointment, and they think they accomplished something for the day.
That's it for the whole day.
You know, but one person is doing way too much. But at the end of the day, the person that's not doing anything, they're still hoping that one day they will be rich.
Not one day. They hope to be rich the following day.
You know, which is like, it doesn't make any sense. But that is how some people operate. You know, that's how some people think. But you got to study some of these people and how they actually live their life, the tactics they use, the strategies, and try to copy and do the same thing.
And managers of Beyonce says that when she's rehearsing, she rehearses so much and so long that she doesn't even eat sometimes. She rehearses through her break times and stuff like that. But then again, all we're seeing out here is the money that they're making and how famous and how rich and stuff like that.
Yeah, you never see the work behind the riches and all the fame and everything.
Like how many free throws they say Michael Jordan threw in a day. All right. So we have to put in the work. We have to position ourselves in a way to be able to put in the work, give ourselves the time. We have to give ourselves the time.
One of my favorite basketball players, Ray Allen, he said every time they have a game, he makes sure that he show up at the arena 3 hours early. His entire career, he showed up 3 hours early, and he was shooting 3 points all the time. The entire 3 hours, he would shoot all 3-pointers the whole 3 hours. So by the time the game started, he already developed the rhythm. And he would start making shots, and people are going crazy, like, "Oh my God, this guy's too nice." And even right now, he holds the most 3-pointers in the NBA. You know, but if you don't know, you think somebody
would just sit somewhere and say he's lucky.
He's lucky.
He's just talented.
He was born with it.
He's born with it.
Ray Allen said it himself. He wasn't born with it.
Like Michael Jordan also said
practice, show up early, practice. And that's how he became that great. You know, even with the way Stephen Curry is playing right now, he still holds the record, and he's been retired for like 3 or 4 years or something like that.
Yeah.
still holds the record. So, you got to have a plan, a way. I'm pretty sure other NBA players probably
they have their rituals.
We're sleeping or not ready to come to the arena, or maybe don't come in that early.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's funny. Yeah. It's another story with one other basketball player. I think it was Tracy McGrady that said it, that he got up early to go, work out in the gym. And when he got there, Kobe Bryant was there already. You know what I'm saying? It was like 3:00 in the morning. So, these guys, they don't play. They take their time serious and they put in work.
You definitely have to put in the time. You have to put in the work. You have to position yourself to succeed. You can't just wake up and just right when everybody's getting out there, you go out there too and you think you're going to be able to. There are people who've been there 2, 3, 4, 5 hours before you and have developed the rhythm, gotten into the rhythm. So when they're playing and doing all these things, don't think you can just compete on the same level with them. Not putting in the same work they've put in.
There's different levels to it.
So
different levels. So that was number one. That's number one. Get up early. The rich gets up early, and that's how they accomplish so much. And they accomplish so much that sometimes we can't even, think it's possible, But that's how they do it. They wake up too much. So we want to also develop that habit. Number 2 is they pre-plan their day. The entire day is planned before the day even starts. So, it's like having a schedule for the day where you know what to do. Depending on what time of the day, you already know this is what I have to do in the morning, do this in the afternoon, do this in the evening. Everything is planned. So you're not wasting no time. You just go ahead and just follow the schedule to this. By the time the schedule is done, then you evaluate the day. You already know, oh my God, this is how much I accomplished the whole day. You accomplish so much if you have a schedule. You're not just breezing through it. You're not freestyling through the day, walking around for like, oh, I feel like doing this. Let me do this. Maybe I should do this, or let me do, you want to have something to direct you,
Yeah, and that is so important. And I've seen myself so many times in that zone where I know I have so much to do, but might not know exactly what it is, or might not remember exactly what to do. So I'm sitting there probably watching TV. Oh, shouldn't I be doing something right now? And yes, you probably have your laundry, or you got to be doing right now. You probably got to be making soup or prepare something right now. At the back of your mind, there is something that I got to be get done right now. But since you don't have no list of all these things that I got to get done, you're sitting down there knowing very well something got to get done. But what is it? So it will probably take you maybe another 45 minutes to an hour for you to realize that, oh, I should have been doing that. So that's like time you're wasting that could have been put to like a really, really positive, beneficial use, but we just sit around trying to figure out things to do. So these are some of the things, and you can look at it and see how it could be so effective, or it can help make you so much money.
And it sounds pretty simple too,
and it sounds so simple, and it's not something that you have to go pay no money for, no classes or nothing to acquire knowledge or that ability to do it. You could just get up and just write everything down the night before you go to sleep. You have everything listed, and as soon as you give yourself that 2-3 hours or whatever, you get up, you get right down to it, and from list 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, and then by the time you realize you've accomplished so much.
And it keeps your day in order. Your day is arranged in order. You have something that you're following, something is guiding you.
There's so many benefits to it. Like you said, your day in order. You can also see how much you've accomplished. If there is something that's not been done, you can just look at it right there and save time and get to it and get it done. So that is very important. It's very important, and it's so productive.
And it also increases your discipline level, because you have to be disciplined. You can't just write stuff up. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and you start changing things around during the day, or you start ignoring some of them, because it's so easy to do that. You might feel like, maybe the list is too long or whatever it is, and you might change things around. You want to stay disciplined to how you plan everything, and you want to make sure you execute it, and you make sure that everything works right. And at the end of the day, you can be like, wow, today was productive.
oh, let me just take an hour nap and, I'll wake up and get to this, oh, I want to do that, but I feel sluggish. Let me just go lay down for a minute. By the time you realize the whole day is gone and you've not accomplished anything.
You see the difference between how these rich people are like planning their day and poor and average people is the poor and average people, they will plan like the whole year. They will plan what they want to do in a year, or during the year, I want to do this, I want to do that. But they don't know that you have to do the bits and pieces, plan it and you do it slowly, bits and pieces every day to get to your goal. You don't just have the goal or something you want to do and you don't do nothing towards that every day.
Exactly.
You plan it, you do a little bit of it every day, and before you know, you already reach your target. So you want to have productive days every day. Every day has to be productive.
And that's what it comes down to. You have to have that long-term plan, the medium term, and the short term. The short term is your daily ones that's also working towards your medium plan, and the medium term is working towards the long term. So you can't just plan for a whole year without breaking it down to daily, hourly, and probably every minute where you have to be and what you got to be doing. So it has to be broken down to that very simple term where every second, every minute, every hour, you would know exactly where you're supposed to be. And if you can judge yourself by being there or not there, because you know exactly where you have to be. So if you're not there, then it means you're not working towards your plan, and you get yourself right back on track and go follow that plan. So that's what it is.
Yeah. So this is one of the secret that a lot of people don't know. The rich, they plan their day. They plan everything. They don't just leave things to chances. They don't leave things to luck. They plan everything. They plan, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and at the end of the day, I'm going to make sure that whatever I plan, I get it done, and feel good about yourself that you actually got everything done. So that's how the rich operate.
And you can see how that can translate into making more money or giving you more wealth, because you are actually every point in time, you know what you got to be doing. And by knowing exactly what you have to be doing, you probably know how much reward you're going to be getting out of whatever you're doing at every time, every minute. So if you know that if I do this, I'll be rewarded maybe $5, and the time comes and you're not doing it, you're losing $5. So it's just as simple as that. It's not very hard. But it's just that we don't, even if you do set plans and you don't have the discipline to follow through, it's still useless.
Yep. So that's number 2 right there. And number 3 on the list is the rich. They exercise. They exercise every day. They make sure they spend some minutes every day to get their workout going on, try to stay in shape, to be healthy, and probably eat right, and make sure they avoid the hospital at all costs, so they don't go waste time in it. If you get sick and you're in the hospital for a week or 2 or 3 or a month, you're losing money right there. That's a whole bunch of unproductive days right there.
That's true.
They want to make sure that they stay in shape, they stay healthy. When you stay healthy, your mind has to be healthy, your body, all your hormones has to be balanced for you to be able to think right and make important decisions. So, you don't want to be walking around looking all fatigued out or tired or like restless, not feeling right. They want to make sure, the blood is flowing. They have energy all the time, and they do that by working out, staying in shape. And that helps them to, go through the day, and it makes your life much easier. The less time you spend in the hospital, the more time you have by yourself. Even if you don't go to the hospital and you just sick at home, you're being less productive and you're losing money, and they don't want that. So they hire personal trainers, and even if you don't have a personal trainer, running or just regular jogging, sit-ups, push-ups, all that stuff helps,
Yeah, I think they have all that money, so they probably scared of dying or don't want to die and leave all that money. Because if
that too, you don't want to work so hard and leave that money real quick. Even though you shouldn't be thinking that way, because even if the money doesn't come straight to you, if you leave the money to your descendants and you pass on some knowledge to them, that's also a good feeling. You know, you don't have to always be the one.
That was supposed to be a joke, but then again,
you don't always want to be the one enjoying. Like, you know, that's the problem with the African people.
You can't even enjoy all you have. Like, you know, you've made so much money. You're just gonna blow everything before you die, just so you could say I enjoy the work of the fruit of your labor. Nah, I don't think that would make sense. Yeah, but then again, it's just that they have all those resources and they can make it happen. They can make it happen, because if a regular person is an average person or model person is probably going to be at work at X time and they have to be there. So they probably will say they don't have the time to be in the gym, but it's not that. You know what I'm saying? If you know that you have to work for 8-10 hours and because of that you can't be in the gym at X amount of time, that's when it comes into play, giving yourself that extra 2-3 hours, waking up that hour before everybody else to get that workout in. Because if you start, there are some benefits to you waking up in the morning and working out before you start your day. It gives you so much.
Yeah, you feel alive. You feel
it brings liveliness, and it gives you so much like comfort. Like you get up pumped up, you get out there, and it's like, you know, you waving, like, you know, your day starts pretty good for you because you feel good. Once you come out of that gym, you know, you get that good feeling.
Yes, that's part of the reason why some companies already added some gym to the you know, in the facility where the workers could go in and work out and stuff like that. You know, because they know how much exercise can influence productivity. So they want to make sure that, you know, all your workers are in shape and stuff like that. And also, it brings their cost of health insurance down.
Exactly. If
everybody's working out.
And everybody's healthy.
Yeah, you know, and I don't know about other countries, but in America, you know, if health insurance, you get checked on a regular basis. So based on the condition of your health, that determines how much you're going to pay every month. So, you know,
I don't know if you still remember, but back in them CBL days when we used to work there, if you were like a member of a specific gym and you could provide your paperwork to state that you're a member of that gym, they were going to charge you less.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. That you know, you work out and you're able to prove that you work out, your health insurance is going to be less. You know,
yeah, you were paying less. You were paying less.
Sometimes they even take blood samples and check to see how healthy you are, and you know that determines how much you're going to pay every month. So it's very important to exercise, stay in shape, be productive. You want to be around to manage your business, to make sure everything is going on right. You don't want to be in the hospital, or you don't want to be walking around not feeling right, feeling sick all the time. You know, that's not going to help, you know, as a business guy or as a business person, that's not going to help you at all. So you want to make sure you're in shape, you feel good. It helps you make better decisions. You don't just, sometimes when you're tired or fatigued out, the brain is tired. So you might not make the best decisions. So you want to make sure the brain is sharp all the time. Every decision that you make, you know is the right decision at the moment, and you make it.
Yeah, definitely. Your blood flow and all of that are on point. And, you know, you'll feel good when you get out there and you'll be mad productive and your day goes by really quick and you get a lot done. So working out, it's not just for health benefits. It also has some other regular benefits that we don't even pay attention to. So let's start our days off by working out and we will see the benefits of it.
Yep, and that's number 3, exercise, the rich exercise. The people that have the money, they exercise. Or if you don't have the money and you want to be like them, you want to, you know, incorporate exercising into your lifestyle too. And, you know, you're going to benefit from it too. So number 4 is the rich keep track of their goals. You know, the rich people actually have goals that they want to accomplish. And the poor people, they have wishes. You know, they always wish, I wish this, I wish that, I wish one day, I wish next year, I wish next month. Wish. They have no goals. If you are just wishing, then it's like you are leaving everything to chance. You're hoping something happens. You don't have no goals. If you have a goal, at least you have like something to work towards, something that you're trying to accomplish. you're trying to accomplish something. So every day you're going to try to do a little to get closer to the goal. You don't just leave everything to wish and hope and luck and all that stuff. So the rich, they make sure they have a goal, that they work towards that goal to make sure they accomplish it. They don't just, just roll around with no plan, nothing, and hope that one day they'll be rich. There's a reason why they're rich.
Yes, and you can't, like you said, you cannot keep doing that same thing. You cannot just sit there with no plans, no goals, and hope that someday, things will fall in their right places and you're gonna be rich. There's actually work to be done to get there. You can't just hope, and you cannot not plan things for them to happen. Things don't happen by chance.
No, nothing happens by chance. You have to plan it. You have to work on it.
You have to put in the work. You have to know, first of all, you have to know where you want to be. And then once you get there, you get that. You have to now formulate a plan to get you there. Because like we keep saying, you're going to a place you've never been before. You have to have some kind of navigation system to get you there.
Definitely.
So if you don't have a plan to get you to where you want to be, then you're just sitting there wishing. And you could wish and wish and wish and nothing will happen until you actually put a plan to it. See a plan that works and then put it to it that, hey, this is what I want and this is where I want to be. And how do I get there? Let me find out. You sit down, you think, all right, and make plans that are achievable.
Yep. The rich actually, they break down their goals. They have a long-term goal, a medium-term goal, and a short-term goal. So they make sure that, because some of the goals is going to take a while before you accomplish it. But you don't want to just wait for years and years and years before you accomplish it. So you break it down, because the smaller goals that you accomplish gives you the motivation. It gives you the
like you said, the medium, small, and long term. The small term goals work towards the medium term goals, and the medium term goals lead you to the long term goals. So if you have a bigger plan for 10 years, you have to be doing something every year towards that 10-year plan.
Right.
If you have a long term plan of 5 years, you have to be doing something every day towards that plan. So if you want to break it down, 1 year, 2.5 years, and then your 5-year plan. All right. So with these plans, you know that at the end of the 5-year plan term, this is where I want to be. And that's one of the importance of putting things on paper, planning for things, because you know exactly where you're supposed to be at the end of every year, every term. So by the end of a term, you can access yourself, evaluate yourself. How did I do this time? No, that's how they keep track of them, because you cannot just say, I want to be rich in 10 years and not have any means, any plan, any way. You want to be rich in 10 years. All right, after 5 years, how are you going to assess yourself? How are you going to evaluate yourself? How are you going to grade yourself? Like, oh, I wanted to be rich. Maybe being rich is probably $10,000 for you. And so in 5 years, you have to have at least $5,000. But then you have no plan or nothing. So in 5 years' time, you have no goals. You have no way of checking how far you've come or how well you're doing. So at the end of a year or 2 years or 3 years, how are you going to track yourself? How are you going to check yourself? All right. So these plans help you by the end of every term, the short term, which is a year or two, depending on whatever your goals and plans are, you'll be able to check, oh, how did I do? Am I really going towards it?
After something don't work out, you'll be able to know, all right, this is what I did wrong. You could go back and check yourself.
Exactly. After 5 years, how did I do? Oh, maybe I did that too much. I shouldn't have done that too much. Maybe let me switch from that to this. So that short-term goal will help you evaluate, if I keep going at this pace, I'm not going to make it. I think I've said this before. One time, we were running and I wanted to do a 3 mile. I wanted to do 3 miles in about 17 minutes. That was the perfect time, right? So I'm over there running with the fastest guy in our company, and he always does it in about 16 minutes. So I say, I'm gonna tag along with this guy. Hopefully I make it. So we running. I think about halfway through that run, I was done. I was so tired that he looked at me and asked me, what time are you expecting to get? I said, I'm trying to make it under 17 minutes. Then he said, at this pace, I don't think you're going to make it. And the guy took off. He knew, he has already calculated how he's going to be. How he's going to make that time. What pace he has to be running to achieve that goal. But I had no plan. I had no pace set. So I was just freestyling. Hopefully I come in before the 17-minute mark.
He already know.
He knew exactly how fast he had to be running to make that.
Depending on where he's at, he already
by
know.
Looking at me and my pace at that point, he said, at this rate, you're not going to make it, so forget it. He took off and left me there.
Wow.
Had I known how fast I should be running, I would probably had, sped up too and said, well, I want to come in before the 17-minute mark, so let me go. So yes, having these plans is an advantage because you'll be able to go back and see how well you did, how you performing, what needs to be changed, what has to be added onto it, what has to be thrown out and stuff like that. So yes, the rich always go back and then access how they've been doing, evaluate themselves and then change things around, because you cannot just be doing whatever you think you want and then just achieve a certain goal. Specific goals demand specific actions at every time.
Yep. So you want to make sure you accomplish your short-term goals, your medium-term goals, and both of them will help you to accomplish your long-term goal. You don't want to sit down and waste time. Stop wishing. Stop begging. Stop hoping. Nothing is going to happen if you do nothing. You do nothing, nothing is going to happen. So you want to make sure you set the goals and you work towards those goals to make it happen. These people are rich for a reason. They were not just born rich. There are certain things that they did that helped them, be the person they are today. So these are some of the things they are doing. They are actually setting goals and making sure they achieve it. So if you want to be like them, you want to make sure that you set goals and you work towards those goals until you achieve it by any means necessary. That was number 4. Number 5 is the rich people. They take ownership. They take ownership of everything that happens to them. They don't leave anything to somebody and say, oh, because of this person, because of the president, because of the economy, because of the leaders, because of the pastor.
The government did not create jobs. That's why I'm unemployment.
The government didn't create jobs. There's no jobs in the system. The banks are not giving out loans. Interest rates are too high. Gas is high. Gas prices is too high. My rent is too high. My car is old.
There are a million
reasons
as to why you can just sit there and not own anything. All right, until you start taking responsibilities for your action and start getting out there and putting yourself in the driver's seat, because you are the master of your destiny. Nothing is going to happen until you get in that position of the driver's seat and say, hey, this is what I want, and I'm not going to let anything come between me and what I want, me and my goals. And until you develop this attitude and you start pushing through it, you'd always be a mediocre.
You got to be responsible for yourself. Stop being lazy. Take responsibility.
And stop
blaming the
devil, the witches and wizards and all of that stuff. Because I think that's an excuse for us not to do anything.
Nah.
Hey, that's not my fault. It's the witches in my house who are keeping me down. So if the witches are doing it, I don't have no supernatural powers to fight them. So how do you expect me to succeed in life?
Until the witches stop working or dies or decide to be tired of just destroying this guy.
And sometimes they even do say, oh, the one who is doing me is very young. So they're very energized. Very energetic, so I'm never gonna be free because they have the strength of a lion, a tiger to go after me. I'm just only a human.
That is just a poor man's
That's just a poor man's mentality. That is just an excuse for us to stay where we want to be. That's just an excuse for us to stay in our comfort zone. Until we get out of that zone, nothing is going to happen for us. until we get out there and start fighting. Because those people who really made it, they will tell you, sleeping 3, 4, 5 hours a day, within 24 hours, they probably would have had just 5, 4 hours of sleep, and they will still be pushing like they've slept for 8, 10 hours. So if you sit there and you want to have 10 hours of sleep a day, 11 hours, how are you going to compare yourself to them?
You can't. You're gonna say,
And then at the end of the day, you're not even going to own the fact that, hey, I slept too much. That's why I couldn't get a lot done. You will put the blame on other things, everything else but you. So everything else is doing what they're doing. So you're always going to be in that position until you start changing your mindset and taking responsibilities. All right, that's the first step. That's everything. All right, this happened to me because I did this and that. All right, now I want to do that. What should I do? How do I change that thing from happening to me again? Until you say, hey, I caused it. So for me to experience something different, I have to change my style, my way of doing things. And until we come to this realization, man, we're going to keep blaming everybody else but ourselves for our dooms. So we have to start taking responsibilities and owning. Take the ownership. Put yourself in that driver's seat. You are the author of your book. If you don't like the role you're playing, change it. You are the author. Change it.
And some of these people that are waiting for the government to be changed and all that stuff.
Waiting for their uncles and stuff overseas to send them money to start their businesses and all these other things.
At the end of the day, if you're waiting for the government to be changed, you have to know that no government is going to come in and satisfy everybody. There's always some people that are going to complain.
Son, at the end of the day, the government is no angel. Those people in government, they have their own personal needs. And trust me, as much as the Constitution and everything else is fighting against them fulfilling their personal needs, they're always going to fulfill their personal needs before the nation's needs are met. So stop, blaming and depending so much on on folks in government and the government and all of that stuff.
Because, let's say the government come in. They don't do what you expected them to do. Now what happens? You're going to wait for the next government to come in?
They messed up, and they're the reason why I'm still poor.
That's like I said, that's a poor man's mindset. At the end of the day, regardless of whatever the situation is, you want to take matters into your hands and try to make the best out of it, the best you could possibly make out of it.
And that's the only thing that changes situations, all right? Until you come into that point in life where you would say that, hey, I'm in control. I'm in charge. This little life right here, this one person's life that I have, I'm in control. You know what I'm saying? I'll depend on God. But down here, I'm in control. I'm not going to
be the superstar in your own life.
I'm not let anything come between me and my dreams, my goals. And do we even have dreams? Do we even have goals? Do we even have plans? That's the thing.
Usually anybody with a poor mindset doesn't have any of these things that you're talking about.
Right now, if somebody should ask you, what's your 10-year plan right now?
You should be able to spell it out.
Would you be able to spell it out?
You should be able to spell it out.
I want to be rich, but I don't even have a 2-year plan. I don't have a year's plan. I don't have 10 years plan. I mean, and we all want to be rich. We want to be rich.
Everybody want to be rich.
So now, without no plan, no goal, no nothing, how do you intend to get there?
That is when magical thinking comes in. You just hoping one day you just wake up and you be rich, or something will just happen and you just be rich. Maybe you want to hit the lotto,
maybe hit the mega
or something. Keep dreaming, but no action to back it up.
So now
you gotta have action to back it up. So you just can't be talking, just dreaming, and do nothing.
With you hoping and wishing that all these things fall in place and get you to where you want to be, you're never going to be able to do nothing because you just sitting and waiting for everything else to work in your favor to be in the position for you to exceed.
That's just giving a bunch of excuses because you're not, trying to be responsible for your own self, your own actions, Sometimes when you break everything down and you do your research, you realize these people who are complaining, this person is doing that person is doing this. You realize they're the ones that causing all the problems. And it's because they're not thinking that they're responsible for their own actions. They're blaming other things. So they don't think about their own actions and try to fix it. They just give a bunch of excuses over excuses over excuses. That's all they do.
Exactly, because it's highly impossible for everything else and everyone else around you to be causing your downfall but yourself. Even if they're doing it, you allow it. And the simple fact that you're still in that position, allowing them to do what they want to your life, determine where and how you end up in at the end of the day, it's your fault. And you have to take responsibility and own that.
Yep. So you want to make sure that you are responsible for your actions. You take full responsibility. And the last thing I got to say on this one is, if you think somebody is, causing a situation for you, or somebody's responsible for something that's happening to you, until that person changes, or that person decides, all right, I don't want to do this anymore, I want to do that and all that stuff, your situation is always going to be the same. And
until they say, oh, I'm tired of making more money, and this guy not making enough, so I'm gonna stop making money so he could also make a little bit for himself. Until they say that, you're never gonna be good.
Yep. So until you learn to take matters into your own hands and be responsible for yourself, things are going to be the same. Don't just sit down and wait for the next person to come in and just, this next person to decide, I'm going to change before things work out for you. You want to make sure that it's one life. You all have, if we put all our religious beliefs to the side, life as we know it now, you only have one life. Nobody can definitely tell you what happens at the end of this life. If we put all our religious beliefs on the side, and we don't know. So you want to make sure you have the best life that you could possibly have on this earth. And you only got, over 70 to 100 years, or 120 for the most part to live. And if you don't, if you just slack off and do nothing, you're just going to have an average life, or, a sad life, and you're not going to do justice to your descendants. That was number 5 on the list. Number 6 on the list is the rich people. They listen more than they talk. They listen more than they talk. They talk less and they listen more. They don't waste time just talking. Because, most of these rich people, when you get close to them, you realize they're very humble. They actually, they don't believe they know everything. They are not the smartest among everybody. They always know, everybody have some skill or some knowledge. There's always a possibility of something that they don't know about. So they listen more and they take notes on top of it. They don't just walk around acting like they know everything. When you talk to poor people, or you try to give a poor person an advice, they wind up advising you. They seem to know everything. They know it all. They have all the experience, but they're poor. They don't realize in this world, you are judged by results. You can have all the knowledge, all the skills, all the experiences. If you have nothing to show for it, if you have no results to show for it, everything else is it's pointless, But the poor people don't understand it. And that's the problem. So these rich people, they get paid to talk. Most of them get paid to just talk. And poor people just talk for free. And, disturb people with their ideas and plans that they do nothing about. They just talk, but they don't actually put no action to it.
Yeah, and I think one of those philosophical people said that you keep repeating what you know as you talk. The only time you learn something is when you listen to others. And the more you know, the more you can, position yourself for success. But if you're only going to go and just keep talking, and as you talk, you're only repeating the things that you know, there's no way you're going to learn. The only time you learn is when you just be quiet, calm down, humble yourself, and listen to others. And, you'd be shocked to learn things from people that you least expected to, learn or get that info from. So the more we come down and listen to others, that's the more we learn. So I can understand why and how the rich folks are listening to others, kind of make them better and also help them make more money because they're learning and getting more information every time they listen to people.
Yes. Right? Sometimes people who are poor or mediocre, they don't want to accept that, you know. So they're always trying to prove a point. Exactly. Try to give a reason why they're poor, maybe because, you know, they want to prove to you that they know something. But at the end of the day, it's the results.
At the end of the day, it's the results.
It's the results that matters. Nobody cares how you got there, who told you why, what kind of experience you have, how hard you worked, how lazy you were, how smart. You judge by results. If you could be the smartest person in this world. At the end of the day, if you have nothing to show for it, no results, what you believe, what you think means nothing.
Exactly. It's just like the educational system back home and the educational system back in the Western world. Back home, they're so smart, but at the end of the day, that smartness don't translate into anything.
Well, what's the definition of smart?
Exactly. Home? They can recite and memorize so much and recite them whenever you ask them. Before you even ask them, they're already reciting these things. But then again, how many of them do understand what they are saying?
A smart person is a person that is, you know, that can understand and use your brain to
use the information, the knowledge that you have to create
something out of it.
But then again, we don't.
If you just remembering stuff, that's not smartness. That just means you know how to memorize something.
That means you have good retentive memory. That's it.
You have a good memory to memorize somebody else's book that they wrote. That's about it. You're not coming out with anything new.
That means that does not make that book your own.
It's not yours. If you use it and you don't cite it, you could be charged with plagiarism. So you gotta be smart about that.
Yeah.
So that was number 6. You want to make sure you listen more, you know, than you talk. Because like people say, God gave us 2 ears for a reason. So we could listen more.
Yeah.
You know, you have 2 ears. God could have just given us 1 ear. But he gave us 2 ears so we could listen more. And, you know, we have 1 mouth. So you listen more, then you talk less. And you listen to what other people have to say. You learn from them. You take notes. You don't walk around and be prideful. At the end of the day, if you're successful, you know. If you're not successful, you know too. So you're not fooling nobody. You're only fooling yourself. So if you want to be rich, if you want to be successful, be honest with yourself. Talk less, learn from other people. So, because it's so obvious that your strategy, your plan is not working or hasn't been working. So you cannot just, you know, pretend to anybody. Stay true to yourself. Listen more, talk less. That's number 6. Number 7 on the list is the rich keep evolving and learning all the time. They never rest. They never say, listen, I think I've learned enough. I think I've evolved enough. So I don't want to do this anymore. Let me just relax and do nothing. They don't do that. They're always learning. The average rich person reads about 50 books a year. 50 books a year. That's a lot of books. How many people are reading these books? Nobody, the regular people, the poor people don't even touch a book during the year. You know, they have all the time in the world to read magazines about superstars and which superstar did this and did that and all that, but they never read any book that's going to better their lives, any book that's going to influence their life in a positive way. They do none of that. But these rich people who got all this money, you would think they will fall asleep and just relax. They're still seeking knowledge. You know, evolve into situations and try to get better each and every day. You know, that is the goal. You want to make sure that your yesterdays, you get better than your yesterdays. You improve yourself than how you was the year before, the month before, the day before. You want to be better than your yesterday, you know?
Yeah, because environment and neighborhoods and situations around us, they keep changing every day. So if you don't want to be left out, you have to keep yourself abreast with all the new knowledge and new technology that are coming out daily, or you'd be left out. You wouldn't know how to do and use certain things. Who knew that about 15, 20 years back that Facebook was going to be this powerful, is going to be this great? Who knew that Twitter was going to be this? I remember back in the days, I think MySpace or something like that started. But then again,
High Five.
High Five and all these other things. But then again, today we're in the era of what? The technology era. Facebook,
YouTube.
Twitter, YouTube. And so if you don't know how to use Facebook, you don't know how to use Twitter, you don't know how to get on YouTube, there's so much information that you're going to be missing. Right? You can't sit there following every reality show that's up on TV, every games that's out there and all these other things, and not educate yourself. Like, keep yourself current with what's going on around you and in the world. You know what I'm saying? We have to get ourselves in these positions where we have the knowledge and the information to succeed. Because there's so much that if you don't know this day and age, you're going to be losing out every day. Doesn't matter how much you have. If you don't keep yourself updated, next thing you know, all the money or whatever you have will be gone. Because it takes knowledge to keep and hold on to what you have. So if you don't keep updating and upgrading yourself to the new systems and technologies that are coming out every day, at the end of the day, you're going to be left out.
Yeah, and you could do this by, making sure you keep yourself around like-minded people who are going to push you, who are going to remind you that you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do anything possible you can to evolve and to broaden your knowledge and keep learning and never give up. You want to make sure
you can't still be stuck in your high school days after graduating college and even graduate school and still acting and playing like you're still in high school. You can't be doing that. You have to update yourself. You have to come up. You have to evolve. You have to evolve, and that evolving is so much powerful that for things to happen for you, you have to be able to be in that zone, that area where you'll be receptive of all the things that are supposed to be coming to you. Because if you're still in your high school days, you probably won't stay in a job that's paying you graduate's salary, because you're still acting like a high school kid. You're not evolving to the new position and the new era that you're in. So it's very important that we do change our way of thinking and upgrade and update and evolve. Growth is the word. You have to grow and adapt to these new technologies and new terms that are around us.
And you know what they say, knowledge is power. And you're not born with knowledge. The only way you gain knowledge is by learning. So the more you learn, the more knowledgeable you become. And the better you get equipped to achieve all your goals and, maintain your riches or build up on your riches and have less to worry about. So you want to make sure you seek knowledge. You learn.
Yep. That blank slate, John Locke. You have to have something on your slate. You have to not let you don't have to let your page be blank. You have to fill that with information that you would use, that you would adjust to, you would implement daily, because every day new things are coming out. You cannot not check the stock market if you have money invested in there. And if you're checking the stock market and things are not going the way it's supposed to, where you have your money invested, it's not going up. You have to know this to be able to switch to a different stock that is going up. It's just simple.
It all takes knowledge,
Simple logic. So let's not just be stuck in them old days and not evolve and learn and grow and change our ways of thinking and stuff like that. We have to grow mentally, physically, and emotionally.
So that's number 7 on the list. The rich keep evolving and they keep learning. Number 8 is 20% of the income of these rich people is automatically invested. Meaning whatever income these rich people gets, 20% of it is automatically invested, like right away. It's like they don't. It's nothing to think about to make it. There's no decision to be made about it. It's automatically being reinvested into mutual funds and index funds and stuff like that. Yeah. So they're not even. It's just something that they do automatic. Like
that's why they're not rocking the new Gucci that just came out, man.
That 20% is the money that you use to just spend around, buy nothing, just just buy a bunch of garbage and just waste it. And these people are just putting that money in there to invest.
And somebody would probably say, "Oh, they're able to do that because they're already rich, so they don't have any more needs and wants." But trust me, the fact that you have $100,000 does not mean that you cannot spend $100,000 on a new car, a new something that's coming out. There are always things that we can put our money into. But then again, it comes to that question: do you need it? Is that going to make you better? Is that going to make you more money? Are you going to receive anything in return for what you about to go get, or are you just going to be a final consumer of that specific thing? All right, so until we start asking ourselves questions, because we keep giving these excuses like the money that I'm making right now is not even enough to cover all the bills. And most of these bills that we have on ourselves are things that we don't even need, things that don't make us any money at the end of the day. So if it's not making you any money and it's not adding to your riches, but then again, it's a liability costing you more every month, do you really need it?
You know, it's not your money that's not enough. It's the knowledge that's not enough.
It's your budgeting that's not enough.
Your knowledge is not enough to even budget. Your knowledge is not enough to even learn how to grow your money. You don't know none of these things, so you just realize my money is not enough.
That's what we keep saying. The money is not even sufficient to cover all these bills. So how would I even have 20% of that sale money to go into reinvesting?
And you know, there's nothing wrong with having a taste for expensive clothes or expensive stuff. You know, everybody's different. But if you have the taste or the passion to be spending money on expensive stuff, what you want to do is to make sure that the money that you spend on these things are coming from investments that you did with your capital.
Right, yeah.
Whatever capital that came to you, you invest that, and the profit that you make from that money, you could use that to buy the things that your heart desire.
One of these guys that I follow on Facebook, on social media, said that the other day I was watching him, said that he wanted the Tesla, the Model S. So what he did, he had the money for that. But what he did was he bought a house. And the proceeds and the returns from that house, owning that house, the rent and stuff that he made from that, went into financing that Tesla that he wanted. So he got what he wanted. He got what he wanted without putting a penny out of his own money to it.
You gotta be smart. You gotta know how things work and work towards it.
We don't have to be the final consumers of these things. You have to invest the money and let the returns from that investment get you what you want. Because if you keep putting your money into these things and become the final consumers of these things, then it means you're going to have to be working every day to keep that lifestyle.
Right. You know, some of these high name brands, they target in the middle class and the poor people because, you know, the people that are poor, they always want to look rich.
Exactly.
And the people who are rich, they look like poor, or they look like they don't have anything. They look like the average person. But you see these poor people looking rich, driving fancy cars, wearing expensive clothes, but their bank accounts are all empty. They have nothing to show for it.
Banks are all broken. All right, so
you want to make sure.
At the end of the day, if you want to keep working till you attain that retirement age or pension age, then that means you're gonna have to put your health on the line. Work so much so that your health is gonna be deteriorating every day because you wanna put a certain type of watch on your wrist or put certain name brand clothes. There's nothing wrong with that, but you don't exchange your health, because doing all these jobs, not getting the required sleep and rest and everything that you need, you are sacrificing, you're compromising your health for those things. And you're not doing this because people do compromise their health and all these things, don't get the required amount of sleep and all these other things, but they do that for just a specific amount of time to put themselves in the position to be able to not work for ever again. So they're making that sacrifice, they're making that compromise. But then again, you can't not have any plan like that and just keep working to just consume. You don't want to be the final consumer. You have to put the money to work for it to get you what you want.
Yep, you want to invest your money because, these people are rich and they're still investing their money to make more money. So you want to learn this tactic. When you get paid, when you get your income, make sure you invest some of it. And you use the rest to take care of other business. But you want to make sure that you invest. Don't just spend them all and wait for the next check to come in. Because if you keep doing that, you are never going to grow. You are never going to achieve financial freedom. And the goal is to achieve financial freedom. You can't just be wasting time. Every time is not on your side. You want to make sure every time that you get, you use it to accomplish something. Use it to your advantage.
Every minute counts.
Yep. So that was number 8. Number 9 on the list is the rich. They learn how to control their emotions.
What's that got to do with making me money, man? My emotions are one thing, and me wanting money is another thing.
If you learn how to control your emotions, that's when every decision that you make, it's not just based on emotions. Every decision that you make is based on reason. You reason. You make sure there's reason.
You're pretty much saying we have to think with our heads, not our hearts.
Yes. It's like a boxer. Like, if you're a boxer and you get in the ring and you hate your opponent so much that you just want to kill him in that ring, you're going to get your ass whipped. Because you're not going to be tactical. You're going to be just emotional and trying to just throw heavy punches.
Yeah, that's it reminds me of this joke that they used to say back home that some old ladies and old folks back in the days, they hated Rawlings, JJ Rawlings.
Right.
They hated that guy so much. So whenever they go into the ballot to go vote, they see his picture, his face, and they keep going, oh, there's the devil. Let me just put a stamp in his face. So they'll put a thumbprint on his face and his head, and that will count for him. It's just an example of making decisions with your heart and not your head, because the head cannot see. I mean, the heart cannot see. The head is the one with the eyes, ears, and all of that can see and hear what's going on. So if you get so consumed into the emotions and just make decisions, especially investment decisions with our heart, we're always gonna come out losers, because they really can't strategize and analyze and plan. Because you hate somebody so much, so I don't care. His business, his company is doing great, but I'm not gonna put my money there because I can't stand him. That he did this and that, so I'm not gonna put my money into his company. Now you making this decision with your heart, knowing very well company X is doing well, but you don't like him. So I'm still gonna go with company B. Oh, his company is not doing that great, but hey, he's a good guy. He's a nice guy. He says hi to me every time. So even if I lose my money, it's fine. No, this is money we're talking about here, all right? And this is business. How he does his business or conducts himself has nothing to do with making more money or losing more money. This is the decision you have to make.
You got to put personal
issues and personal emotions should be put to the side every time when you have to make such decisions. I have a similar thing going on right now, but hey, I'm going to eat my pride and just go with the money. At the end of the day, as long as I'm not stealing or whatever, I have to go with where the money is being made at the moment. So we have to make these decisions with our heads, not our hearts.
We have to analyze situations. You have to analyze situations and make decisions based on
logical reasoning and critical thinking
and optimal outcomes.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that you make decisions based on reasoning and optimal outcomes. You don't want to just make a decision because you just feel like doing this, or I just feel like that, or I don't like this, or I hate this person, or I hate that, or I hate this. We live in a computer age right now. Everything is all analytics. You want to make sure that you learn how to analyze situations so you can make the best situation at that moment. Even if it don't work out, at least at that moment that was the right thing to do. If everything made sense that time when you made that decision. You don't want to just leave things there and just use your emotions. Like I said, using the boxing example, you're gonna get your ass whipped. Because you just emotional. You're not being tactical. You're not learning to see when that person throw the jab or when how the person is moving their head and stuff like that. You just using emotions. So you just attack them and they will just knock you out.
Yeah,
it's just that simple, because they're being smart and you being dumb. So
this is what I call the Kwabena Nemo effect. Kwabena Nemo was a very good table tennis player. The only time you can beat this guy is to get him upset. so yeah, that's that Kwabena effect. So if you don't get that guy upset, you can never beat that guy because he was riding on his emotions every time.
So he couldn't be the trash talker.
Exactly.
If somebody talks trash,
Exactly.
he can't play in this era then.
He couldn't stand him. So yes, you got to get him upset. So yeah, you cannot be like Kwabena anymore. You have to think and play with based on strategies and analogies and logical reasoning and critical thinking. You can't just be going with stuff because your heart favors it. You know, you have to put the numbers and logics and statistics and everything into it.
Yep. So you gotta learn to control your emotions. Be in control of your every decision, your every step, and don't just make things personal. It's business, you know. Make decisions, look at the whole goal, look at the bigger picture. Don't just base everything on the next day or just that's the short term, you know. So don't get too emotional. Like, be smart about decisions, you know. That's number 9. Number 10 on the list is don't wait to take action. Whenever you come up with an idea or a decision or anything that you know, your dream or your passion, anything that you want to do, remember, time is not there for everybody. Time is just moving. You don't got all year or all day or all lifetime to do everything. Time is going, and every day you're losing time. So you don't want to wait around doing nothing or planning. You're never going to be 100% ready. You will never be 100% ready. So you have to get going and learn through the process, make mistakes, learn from it, fix it, move on till you accomplish what you want to accomplish. There's no reason to just be there and wait for the perfect moment to go in. You have to take action.
Yes, so true, because there will never be that perfect time that you think everything will be so right for you before you get into it. You have to test the waters by jumping into it. Now, let me just use my feet to see how cold or whatever. You get burned, you come right back out and re-strategize and go back in, you know? Because the thing is, you're not the only person wanting to be rich. You're not the only person thinking in that very field. There are so many people out there who are also trying to, you know, invent the same product that you're thinking about inventing, or start that same type of business that you're thinking about starting. And you know, I've been a victim to this so many times. You know, me and my friend in Europe, so many times there was a Pampers factory in his European country where he's at. So we decided to go and become distributors for these company or manufacturer back in Ghana. All right. So we kept saying every day, we kept postponing. So one time I told him, today, drop everything you're doing, walk into that factory and go and ask them that this is what you intend doing. Ask them, you are ready, whatever they need, you're ready to provide it. So what you should do. And you know what's funny? He went in there and they told him, we just finished talking to a guy yesterday.
Wow.
So we missed out that whole opportunity just in the day. And we've nursed that idea. We nursed it for like what? A month, 2-3 months, but never took action. Had we gone in there and inquire about that, we would have gotten that contract, and we would be delivering or distributing those Pampers all the way in West Africa, because that's how we.
From Ghana too.
Yeah, the guy was from Ghana too.
Wow.
So yes, it's very huge, and we've become victims, and we continue or keep becoming victims every day to this whole thing. Just don't wait to take action. Take it right now. You're not going to have all the details. You're not going to have every bit and piece of information that you need to implement that plan. You're going to have to jump into it, make some mistakes, because we do learn from our mistakes. There are also lessons and stuff for us. All right. And those are even worthless, because you cannot put price on these things, because that gives you so much knowledge and so much lessons that the person who is thinking about getting into it will never have this information. So hopefully it will not break us. Because we show also, we have to test and measure our investments and everything, our risk management and everything before we jump into these things. All right, so let's not keep taking forever to go into these ventures that we've been nursing and harboring for so long. Let's go. Let's jump into it and take action, and we learn from our mistakes and we grow from there.
Yeah, so take action, stop procrastinating. Nobody's gonna do anything for you. You have to do it yourself.
If you want it that bad.
If you are serious, you wanna do it yourself. And the earlier you do it, the better, because you're not the only person trying to improve your life. You're not the only person trying to come up with ideas.
Oh, you're not the only person seeing that opportunity right there. There are a lot of people looking at it.
So you want to take action. You don't want to waste time, because time is not there for everybody. Time is not there for everybody. You don't want to waste time thinking. Sometimes you think too much and you overthink,
Like I said, we can never think and figure out every bit of detail that we would need to know before we jump into it. Yeah. We are never gonna have all the pieces together. You're gonna have to jump into it and learn as you go.
Right.
Learn as you go, because you can think so much and plan so well that at the end of the day, you're still gonna miss a few things on the way.
Yeah,
there's still gonna be some unexpected things that will hit you without you knowing. So now, what would be the purpose of staying 2-3 years? You're just gonna rob you of that opportunity or that chance you had. So
there's never a perfect situation, You can never have a perfect situation. You just have to, learn as you go. Take the risk. Don't be scared. You make mistakes, you learn from it. And that's how you achieve your goals, So don't just sit back there and then wait for the perfect moments to go in. That perfect moment may never show up. You might not even see it when it shows up. So do not wait. Take action. That's the number 10. These are what these rich people are doing that they don't want you to know. We sometimes we figure it out. How come some people are rich and some people are poor? And we just feel like, oh, God just created these people rich and God created these people poor. That is never true. It's based on our decisions, actions, and what we do. Some people might have a easier way out. Some people might have a harder way out. But at the end of the day, I think you're going to appreciate your life much better if you know you did everything possibly on your behalf to make sure that things go well for you. You don't want to leave no regrets or feel like you could have done better or certain things you didn't do. You want to make sure you do all the things that could potentially help your life and give you a better life. Don't waste time. Learn from other people who are doing the things you want to do. Learn these secrets, their tricks, their strategies. You want to make sure you learn all these things. This is what the rich people are doing every day to stay productive, to stay ahead and keep being rich while you just stay home and be poor, and you watch these rich people on TV and you smile and you think they own that TV that you paying every month. That you paying every month to watch these people on TV and you're happy for them. And that's how you live your dream. You want to make sure you take matters into your own hands and push yourself to achieve any dream, any goal that you have, because it's possible. Don't let your mind, don't overthink things and feel like there are certain things that you can't accomplish. You can accomplish anything you want if you put your mind to it.
Definitely. And when the list came out, I was expecting to see, you're probably going to have maybe 10,000 or 5,000, or there are going to be some things that you're probably going to have to pay to gain certain type of knowledge to be able to go through it. But it's just so funny that these are all simple daily things that we can all do.
Basic stuff that everybody
These are all daily, simple, basic things that we can do without having to come out of our pockets for anything. So yes, guys, these are very important tricks and routines that rich folks keep doing every day. And now we got the secret. So let's get out there. Let's put them to use and see our lives change and turn around dramatically and drastically. So let's not waste a day or two. Let's get to it. Then number 10, let's put it to work right now. We're not going to wait to take action. Let's use them. You know, the new year is fast approaching, and, you know, we start thinking or talking about our resolutions and stuff like that. Let's see how these things affect and change our lives. Let's put them to use and, you know, comment and share our findings and outcomes and stuff with us on the Money Matters podcast here.
And you know what we always say, if it don't make no money, it don't make no sense. This is the Money Matters podcast. You want to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notifications to make sure that every time we post anything, you're going to get it on your phone. Try to get in contact with us so we can work together.
Yep, and like we say, if it doesn't make money, it does not make sense. Let's all keep drumming together. Keep sharing that information. Keep subscribing. Keep bringing your ideas, your questions, and whatnot you have. Bring them up. We will sit down and we all go through them. We're not no rich folks or nothing. We are still learning. So hey, come on down. Let's all grow together.
Yep. So thank you guys for listening. See you guys.
That's all for today. Until we meet again next time, never stop learning. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to our channel. Email us at themoneymatterspodcast@gmail.com.
Your moon.